I swear I had this page open. I swear I did. 1 second here. 1 second here. Where are we? Oh my gosh, we're right on the buzzer. We are right on the buzzer here, boys. There we go. There we go. That's on time. Like someone watched the replay, clip it. That is on time. On time for the auction. Woo! Feels good. Feels good on a Thursday, man. Feels good, Big Lex. Let me get this centered up here a little bit. Something like that. Down my volume a little bit. Something like this, something like that. Something like this, something like that. Welcome in, everybody. Sega Showcase Ages of Shit. Welcome in, everybody. Ages of Sega Showcase Auction is upon us. Brought to you by Heritage Auctions, of course. Tonight's auction is sponsored by them, and I appreciate you guys being here tonight. We actually kicked off here with a European copy. There's a few European games in here mixed in, so if you don't want to buy a European game, make sure you are reading descriptions and titles, because there are some mixed in, but it was Alex Kidd and Shinobi World 9.4 A+ European version, selling for $1,875. I just don't know enough about... I don't know enough about the European releases of Master System games. I don't know much about Master System in general, right? I know Alex Kidd is one of the known IPs, but $2,000 kind of surprises me for the European release. Hang On in Safari, $287.50, into Maze Hunter 3D, VGA 90+, 115 games tonight. Big Sega auction for the Sega fans. Not leaving you out there high and dry, 115 in the showcase. But welcome in, you guys. Jeff Mack, Tarzal, Cy Moon, Carl Jobs Part 2. There's no updates. No updates, Simon. We're still waiting for We're still waiting for Carl to put out a video, so until then, there's really nothing more to say, right? The facts are out there. Well, the perception and everything is out there, and Carl's going to bring us the facts. Big Lex, I appreciate you, dude. Kyle John working from home. Greg going live. What a time to be alive. What a Thursday, my guy. What a Thursday. Adam Harvey, Joe Migraine, Odin, welcome in, you guys. Welcome in. Hamster, I was going to say, you're the main guy here. Hamster, I know that you're probably responsible for both the buying and the selling side of this auction. I mean, you got to be like 30% of the auction, right? Are you still supplying that much Sega stuff? I know you're one of the biggest Sega collectors. I don't know if I want to call you a dealer, but you know, you're one of the deepest guys in Sega that comes around here. Are we, who pay thousands of dollars for games they don't play, really complaining about paying $80 for new games we will play? I mean, my gosh, we can't get into a Switch 2 announcement. We can't get into a big talk about Switch 2 here, but I am surprised by how much cost-associated backlash there is about the Switch 2 pricing. We were in a space of absolute luxury. I mean, Americans were, fucking Canadians, we already had game prices increase years ago. But it was a state of luxury that video game prices has stayed as stagnant as they were for what, the past 15 years? The Switch 2, of course, was going to cost like a $399 or $449 were literally my guesses. You could go back and watch my video on it. The Switch 2 was never going to cost less than $400. It just wasn't. I don't know, man. It's I'm surprised how much... I truly just think gamers, man, are like the most price-sensitive group of people that exists. You spend years developing something, you know, millions, hundreds of millions of dollars go into it, and it's like, it costs $80? $80 for something I'm going to put in 30 hours? I might play the game for 300 fucking hours, and it costs $80? I don't know, man. It just genuinely feels ridiculous to me. But I think there's too much animosity. I think people just enjoy to complain about this. It just, of course, I don't know. I'm not on the side of it. It's too crazy, too expensive. It's not a physical? Well, you can still get your physicals, right? You can still get your physicals. Or is physical 90? I can't remember if it's 80 for digital, 80 for digital or physical. I know that physical is going to cost more than digital, which, yes, absolutely, right? Like, of course it is. Of course, physical is going to cost more. There are more costs associated with physical. It would be nice if it was like framed as a discount to buy. You know what I mean? I guess that's more like the way I see it. You're getting a discount if you buy digital. You're not necessarily paying more for physical. The physical is basically an empty card that acts as a 2FA that takes you to a download. Yeah, I've seen... It's a key card, though, so technically not physical. You're getting a case. You're getting something inside of the case. I know there's technicalities as to what might constitute a true physical release, but, like, you're getting shit. You are still getting shit. They are still distributing something, you know? But... yeah, you're getting a tangible product. Like, digital is, full digital delivery. You get nothing. You get nothing, good sir. With the physical, even if it's a code in the box, right? Like, they're giving you something. You're getting something. You don't have to be happy with it, I guess. I guess, yeah, you can still complain about it, but you are getting something. I thought I saw something that you can still resell, Trevor. I thought I saw that you can still resell the product. So in my opinion, if you can still resell it, you are getting a physical representation in that sense. Resell is a big thing, obviously, right? For me. Monopoly 9.6A plus Plattsburgh Collection, $250. The Maze Hunter closed at $275. Outrun was $1,125. Big Master System game in Outrun. Outrun, the racing game series, obviously massive. You could maybe even make the argument that Outrun here on Master System is undervalued at only $1,100, considering how long the series ran for and what an impact it had with racing games. So all the way up through... Did Outrun make it to PS3 generation? Or did Outrun end on like PS2 Xbox? It went for years and years and years. Paperboy 9.4B plus $525. Power Strike, the mail order exclusive 9.6A, $1,625. Almost taking the high mark of the auction so far. We see Power Strike come up usually at the Sega Showcase auctions. Mail order exclusive, I'm pretty sure is the only way you could get it. $1,625. Rambo 3, 85 plus for $325. Shanghai, $144. Slapshot, $625. Into Ys, the Vanished Omens. One of the first Ys games released, right? Should be. Only 6 copies on the Wadapop report. 9.6A plus here, pushing its way to just about $700. Ys, $625 there, yeah. Altered Beast, 9.4A plus, very cool. See, this is another one here where we're kicking off Sega Genesis. This is a European copy of the game, so just do be careful. Greg, help you? What do you need, Mike? We're talking about Switch 2. The cost of the games and stuff like that. The people who complain about game prices also give Carl $5,000 for the lawsuits. I mean, there's probably some overlap there. A little sad you missed out the VG85 Plus X-Men on eBay the other week. It had been up for a while with the bin of $5,000 and they accepted $1,000. What? Yeah, I don't understand why people do that either, Carts and Cardboard. Yeah, I guess I guess it goes to show O is tossing a lowball, but it seems weird. Yes, the North American copy of Altered Beast on Genesis is very, very, very difficult to find factory sealed. The European version even here is still pushing $625. Do you know what the copy sold for on eBay, Carts and Cardboard? Oh, it wasn't legit. There we go. So the copy on eBay was not even legitimate. Yeah, Altered Beast factory sealed on Genesis, absolutely a grail. Absolutely a grail. Slapshot was once featured in an episode of MacGyver. That's the video game lore we need. Carl, no! Billy is the king! Yeah, Billy Chad's Rise Up. Billy Chad's Rise Up. There is a distinction, though. Some games will be played physical games, but a lot of third-party ones will be game key. Okay, interesting. So that sounds like it's a +1 for physical, right? Because isn't Nintendo, like, first-party still pretty physical? I need to read more. I need to watch more about Switch 2. I'm making a video for tomorrow talking about GameCube prices, because obviously Switch 2 is going to have online GameCube. So video coming out tomorrow as to what I think it's going to do to the price of video, of the price to GameCube games. So that's what I've been working on. Then I need to go back and like just consume more content about Switch 2. So far from everything I've seen, I don't know, it just feels like a lot of anger and animosity. I don't want to say it's, like, not warranted, but it seems overplayed. No mention of Odyssey 2. No mention of Odyssey 2. Honest to God, I'm going to say the Switch lineup, what they showed for the Switch 2 is incredibly underwhelming game-wise. Like, there's nothing surprising. You know what I mean? I think we all got exactly kind of what we expected we would get, which is underwhelming that there was no, like, here's what you need. You know what I mean? I don't know. Mario Kart World looks cool, but, like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Next lot. I've talked about Mario Kart before. I just, I don't pop off to the thought of playing more Mario Kart these days. Tube seals are brittle, but a lot of B+ Genesis this time around. Yeah, you're going to see that a lot with Genesis. The B+, the C+ even gets thrown around sometimes. Altered Beast, 9.48 plus for 750. Aquatic Games, James Pond, $300 there. Ariel, The Little Mermaid, 9.88 plus. Woof. It is a later production copy. I don't think it's... Oh, it is Majesco. Okay, well, shoot. It is a Majesco here of Ariel. Still is a 9.88 plus. Still is pushing up over $500. $420. I did think, though, when I first saw it, that it was going to be a first print. It looks like there was a 9.88 plus. It might be the same copy. There was a CGC back in May 2023 for $480. So this copy is already beating that sale from back in 2023. No real movement on Ariel the Mermaid. $500 this time around. Yeah, not too bad. Burning Force, 9.9A. $340. You still haven't played everything you want from the 80s and the 90s and you don't need a Switch 2? I mean, there never has to be another video game that comes out ever, right? There's enough video games in the world for people. No one ever needs to buy another video game again. $360. There's enough out there to keep us busy for a lifetime. Oh, you can't find a sealed copy of Altered Beast at all? Was it only a system pack-in? Or what am I learning about this? Are my Grails also my favorite games to play? No, not really. I would say Grails are more so like nostalgic games and also like some of the biggest games in gaming, period. Right? So like, in some instances, yes, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, absolutely. Those are both Grails and some of my favorite games. But then it's stuff like Super Mario Bros. Or Mario 3. While those are amazing games, like, I don't know the last time I've played Mario or Mario 3. I've watched speedruns in a long time, but, a lot of stuff is Grail-type stuff for me because of their relevance to gaming over the years. So it's a blend. It's a blend of, like, relevance, notoriety, as well as nostalgia and what I care about. Altered Beast was a system pack and only. Gotcha. Gotcha. Greg expected Kirby Air Ride and a new FromSoft exclusive. Okay. Elijah, Kirby Air Riders doesn't move the frickin' needle. I'm sorry, man. I appreciate Kirby Air Ride the most of everyone or anyone. I own a fucking 9.88 plus copy of Kirby Air Ride. A new Kirby Air Ride game is not moving the needle. It just isn't, man. That's already niche of the niche. And what was your other one? Oh, the FromSoft exclusive. Yeah, the FromSoft exclusive was probably the most exciting thing. It looks like it's just Bloodborne 2 by a different name, which is very odd, but that was actually cool to see. The Donkey Kong game looks good, right? I'm not saying that these games that are announced and stuff are just not good. It's just not anything I need to run out and buy a Switch 2 for. There's nothing I need. Like, I don't feel the need, right? I don't feel the need. Like, oh my fucking God, I need to buy a Switch 2 right now. Breath of the Wild made me feel like I was going to miss out with Switch. Even though it was on Wii U, you know what I mean? Like, Odyssey made me feel like I was missing out on Switch. I'm just not seeing it with Switch 2 right now. I don't feel like I'm going to FOMO with Mario Kart World. Maybe I'll be wrong. Maybe it'll be the best fucking game ever. Maybe, I'm going to watch it on Twitch as soon as it releases, so I'll get my take of it, but Captain America and the Avengers with the little collector's pin inside. First time selling it at Heritage Auctions, 9.6 B plus copy. Pushing over up to next bid takes it to $2,000. Captain America here, amazing cover art on this game, is going to be the top seller of the auction here. It's going to take the high mark. Burning Force went for $425. You won the Little Mermaid, Christian. There we go. You thought it would climb up more? Yeah, there's no issue with that. No issue getting the Little Mermaid there for $500, 9.88 plus like that. It's cool. It's cool. Yeah, Dusk Bloods is what it was called. Fair warning. 1,008. This Captain America game has already performed better than the recent movie. When's my own speedrun stream? I don't speedrun myself. It's like in a different world, I assume I could enjoy speedrunning, but the time that it takes to do it, I don't want to dedicate, right? I'm very content putting on speedruns on a side monitor while I do actual work. Just kind of is what it is, you know? Speedrunning is a very thankless job. That's a passion project. Castlevania Bloodlines 9.6B plus, an actual clamshell copy there for $1,375. Captain America did close at $2,125 in the end. It feels strong to me. It feels strong to me, but I wonder if you Sega guys were already expecting this out of it. I know finding a CIB like with the pin inside is also very rare. It's a pretty expensive game, but $2,125. Bloodlines, the Majesco release, 9.4 A++, pushing almost a 700 here on the cardboard Majesco. Yeah, ended at 625. It looked like this was down a decent amount from the last Majesco sale. Yeah, July 2024. So coming up on a year ago, $937.50. Nicer copy tonight for $625. Yeah. Majesco Castlevania Bloodlines is a tough one. Like, getting an actual clamshell copy, you know, $1,375 for the 9.6B plus. I would probably just buy this clamshell instead for almost $1,500. But I Bloodlines is an amazing game, amazing Sega Genesis collectible, but it is always tough to pay up. It's tough for these Majesco ones. I would still be kind of worried. $625 isn't bad. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes down a bit more, honestly. The Majesco ones are tough. Cool spot, 9.68 plus, almost $700 there into David Robinson's Supreme Court Basketball. 9.4B plus. With the videotape and poster offer there. One of just 9 copies of the variant on the Pop Report. So... the McDonald's is so dope. Yes, the McDonald's should pop off. No, isn't it like a 9.8? Yeah, 9.8A on McDonald's Treasureland. That should do good. That should do good. You're not surprised on the Captain America? You've never seen one? Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at as well. Like, I know I don't follow it super closely, but just given how rare it is to even find a CIB with the pin, it just like the sealed one has to carry a heavy premium. Greg is speedrunning, learning underestimated for a good copy of Mario Bros. Yeah, seriously. How long until the realization hits? Like, start the timer. I tell you, man. Maybe if I can get myself a sub 5 run, like, does that make the game cheaper? Is that how I prove that I'm a true gamer who deserves to have a Mario Bros? I just need a sub 5 any percent? You think I could get to a sub 5 in like 10 hours? Probably, right? Probably doesn't take that long just to get sub 5. Disney's The Jungle Book, 9.8A plus, going for $450. Dynamite Heady, 85 plus. VGA copy. Take note of all the shit sealed grades on these ones. Yeah, I mean, that's Genesis and Sega, man. That's Genesis and Sega. That's why the A plus on Genesis, especially A plus plus, should see a massive premium. Same with VGA 90. Same with VGA 85, to be completely honest. These are games that have beautiful seals on them. And when we're talking about clamshells, and every frickin' clamshell is a 9.4 minimum, comes down to the seal grades. Seal grades are going to separate Genesis a lot more than other consoles. If you win a sealed game from Canada on eBay, how much extra will you pay upon receipt? I think your Supreme Leader said it's 10%, right? I think Game Gallery? Starting April 9th, I think it's 10% on Canadian imports. I'm just a lowly Canadian, I don't know. I think it's 10% though. But that's something I need to confirm for myself. I'm already paying frickin' US imports, so I don't even, I don't care what you guys pay for Canada imports. Fuck ya. Instead of expanding the FromSoft collection with new titles, I keep upgrading the condition of Dark Souls and Demon Souls. I don't know if I want to buy every single FromSoft game anymore, Elijah. It was a cool idea, but I don't know, man. It almost feels wasteful to just buy every FromSoft title. Like, I'll get the Bloodborne, the Soul games, stuff like that, but... Dynamite Heady, $656, the 85 plus. El Viento, 80 plus. This is like a cult classic renovation title sold for... Isn't this dirt cheap? Where are you, hamster? Tell me that this is dirt frickin' cheap for El Viento, man. $350? $350? Aren't CIBs still like $200, $250? Am I crazy? What? This did get a re-release from like Retrobit or something. Fair warning. It got brought forward, Odin. El Viento got brought forward by, I think Retrobit did it. So there is some love or some cult following for El Viento. Renovation published as well, which always means it's collectible on Genesis. But it's a game that people know. So much so that, yeah, a company, one of those limited print companies, did bring it forward. So it's not a nothing title. It's just like, yeah, niche cult classic. But I swear to God, CIB copies are still like $200, $250. That's wow. Okay, $350 to El Viento. Jesus Christ, man. I almost wish I would have pressed the bid button here a couple times. Fantasia, 9.6B plus copy. Pushing its way to almost 1,000. Yeah, fucking Fantasia. Hey? Fantasia pushes its way to $1,000. 3 times El Vientos. You can get 3 El Vientos for 1 Fantasia. Frickin' 2 Dynamite Headies. Like, what? How is Dynamite Heady twice the price of El Viento? That is insanity. Fantasia, $937.50. FIFA 96 soccer. There's some poor bastard out there who paid like $500, $1,000 for this game 10 years ago. Just to fucking, punching air right now. $140. FIFA 96 soccer, 9.88 plus plus. $160. $170. $220. Some poor bastard out there, man, thought El Viento was his ticket. This was the ticket. It's a Genesis Grail. They can't go down in price. Is this a special FIFA or just FIFA? It's just FIFA, baby. Just FIFA 96 in 9.8 A++ copy. Nicest one ever sold at Heritage. So for sports games collectors, which I assume is why this is in there, I don't think FIFA 96 has anything special about it. But it is, it's an amazing grade on it, right? I don't think FIFA 96 is like super common to find factory sealed, but maybe someone else can chime in either. I don't think there's anything special about it though. Yeah, FIFA. Get yourself some FIFA 96. I mean, I know one guy who's a big fan of FIFA games. Big investor. There's one big FIFA investor in this chat at least. $440. FIFA delay, retirement delayed. El Viento bombed. Usually these games have wrecked seals. Yeah, just getting a junky sports title in mint condition is very difficult. Unless it's one of the few sports games that, it's one or the other. It's either super fucking common to find or it's impossible to find in nice condition. That's just how a lot of those go. Sports games collectors, they exist. Oh, they're out there. They're out there, vanilla. They don't ever show their faces, though. Sports games collectors have been shunned. They've been shunned into hiding. They have to crawl around the streets in secrecy. If they ever show up to a collecting forum, oh, baby. You collect sports games, kill yourself. So, sports collectors gotta lay low these days. $550 for the FIFA 96, though. Jesus. That's real, man. That's real. That's a real price on FIFA 96 soccer. Galaxy Force 2, 9.2A+. Fading on the front, just I do want to say there. It says fading on cover art, so 9.2 A+ with fading. I know sometimes you guys don't check the back photos, you don't always read all the notes and stuff, so if I ever see something like that, I'll give you a heads up. $212 to Galaxy Force 2 into Generations Lost. And if you don't know what I mean about sports games, I'm being a little facetious there, but obviously sports game collecting has been shunned or looked down upon by, the JRPG chads, I guess. Your Atlas survival horror chads. Laughing at the beta sports collector. How dare you collect what you enjoy? You need to collect what everyone else collects. Generations Lost. 9.8 A++. Game I know almost nothing about, actually. First time at Heritage Auctions, $300 for it. Another niche rare game. This game is super uncommon. Yeah, it's even beyond my knowledge with Genesis here. Weird X-Men 1 type game. Sold for $300. I don't know if it's a deal or if it's so niche no one cares. I'm not 100% sure where that one lies. Hardball 9.4A. One of these big box ballistic? Yeah, Ballistic published games. Not many of them here that come in these fancy style boxes. $200 for Hardball into Joe and Mac, 9.6 A++. Beautiful copy of Joe and Mac. This is probably one we've seen before, honestly. Maybe it's the, there's the exact same grade that sold March 29th, 2022. Okay, so this is the highest graded copy. So yeah, this game, this copy last sold, oh my god, 3 years ago, almost 3 years ago to the fucking date for $1,700. Today, $600, which I mean, you know, anything that hasn't sold since 2021, 2022 is going to, it's going to come down in price, but it always hurts to watch real time. It always hurts to watch real time. $600, 9.6 A++, Joe and Mac. Junction, 9.8 A+. First time selling Junction at Heritage Auctions. Junction is another rare niche title. Yeah, I think I was going to say, I think I've owned Junction for Game Gear at some point, and it was pretty niche on there too, but I might be thinking of a different title. But yeah, first time at Heritage on Junction. Early game on the system. Gotcha. First time selling Junction, but not the first time selling junk. Like, boom, got him. God damn, Joe Kane. That one actually got me. I wasn't ready for it. I wasn't ready for the play on words there. That's good. That's good. Elijah Lewis.
Appreciating you working 2 shifts this week to bring us good content.
And I appreciate you, dude. Holy shit, man. $20 is super, like, that's super generous. That's super kind. That's big. Thank you, Elijah. I'm glad that you can even hang out here for the Sega Genesis auction. I know Genesis probably isn't your jam. Madden 95, 9.8 A++, beautiful copy. It does have the sticker on it for the 1994 rosters. I don't think Madden 95 is rare. I don't think so.
$380.
B Rose. God damn, you guys. Thank you, B Rose. Much appreciated. All donations, obviously, you don't have to. Like, you know, I don't think I ever call for donations, but like, thank you guys. Much appreciated. Yeah, it's raining today, Odin. I tell you. It's a good day to be live on a Thursday. I'll tell you that, man. Thank you guys. Much appreciated. You sent in a copy of Generations Lost, so I think you lost money. You're thinking yours is 9.8 A+. Did you send it in to Heritage, or did you send it just to like WADA CGC? Because you might do better on eBay with like a buy it now, best offer type thing. You know what I mean?
Fair warning.
Because it is such a niche title, these super niche titles, sometimes you just have to put it up and you have to wait for your buyer. Because, you know, there's only 3 people who want it. You sent it to WADA last Friday? Yeah. I wouldn't auction it. I would not auction it. Put it up for more money than this and just see if you can find a buyer. Someone talked to me about Madden NFL 95. $750 to the 9.8 A++. Is that truly just a 9.8 A++ premium there? I swear Madden 95 had a bunch of copies on eBay not all that long ago. Unless I'm thinking of the wrong sports game. Or is it just the premium? Madden 95 has 15 copies. There's 5 9.8 A+, so I mean, it's not rare in mint condition, right? Not necessarily, there is no 9.8 A++ WADA copy. Every copy looks like it has that sticker on it, so that doesn't mean anything. But, geez, man. $750. For what could be, I guess, the only 9.8 A++. Madden 95. Jeez. Conditional premium right there. All day. Mario Andretti Racing 9.8 A+ for $212. McDonald's. Fuck, I missed McDonald's. God damn. 9.8 A went for $781. I didn't want to miss this. The last 9.6 A copy, that was July 2023 for $840. 9.8 A for $780. It's not showing me any other comps, but... they've only sold it 4 times. Jesus.
Fair warning.
Highest graded copy they've ever sold here. Yeah, $781. I almost want to say it's a deal. I think. But like, oh man, I don't know. It's like, how well is a McDonald's game on Sega Genesis going to age? I don't know. I don't know if this lives and dies with, like, you know, the generation.
Fair warning.
Yes, you did miss El Viento. It went for $350 run amok. No one cared. No one cared. No one bid. And I look like a frickin' idiot having it in my thumbnail. I have it in my thumbnail as if El Viento matters.
$110, $120.
The Mortal Kombat was yours. It had an A+ seal, but you ripped it trying to take off the security sticker. No, dude. Where did you rip it? It sold for $750, by the way.
$130, $140.
I'm guessing right here, hey? I'm going to go ahead and guess you ripped it right here. It looks like there's a little bit of security sticker here in the bottom side. Yeah, you fucked this, dude. You, yeah, you can see up here there's a little bit of security sticker left. You did a number on this one, dude. That is awful. That sucks, man. That hurts. That hurts. That hurts, dude. $750 for it still, but oof. Turning it into a B is B for bad. Would have been 9.8 A++. Oh my god, dude. That hurts. Mercs was a 9.8 A+. Someone did not fuck this copy. $1,250. Miss Pac-Man, 9.4 A++. This is the early production copy, right?
Fair warning.
Only 5 copies of this variant on the pop report? This should... Oh, mid-production they're calling it, sorry. I thought all clamshells were early. I guess it's a mid-production of this. 9.4 A++. Pushing its way to almost $300. Yeah, put him down. Stop. He's already dead. Stop. Yeah, I don't know if I would have even tried to remove that hamster. Just because it was sitting right on the overlap seal. That is a terrible spot to have it. Like that's just scary when it's sitting right on the overlap. I might be the underbidder on El Viento, speaking of. I tossed a proxy bid on it. I might be the underbidder. I need to check after the auction.
$420.
I might be underbid. I don't think I want it though, and I'm choked. I'm chafed. Right? I am chafed butthole, man, that I did not win this El Viento. That is just, oh my gosh. I don't collect Genesis that seriously anymore, but like, I have a soft spot for those renovation rare titles, you know? You totally would have been on El Viento. You were texting. Yeah, the auction came and went, man. The auction on El Viento just came and went.
$480. $500.
You found another raw one for 2,000 that hit 9.8 A++. There we go. There we go. Good to hear. Good to hear. Yeah, I don't even know if I would attack a security seal on an overlap seal. See if you can send an offer after the auction. No, it's only fun if you win it cheap, right? I don't want to actually pay for El Viento. Come on, Odin. I don't actually want to pay for it. I just want it cheap, you know? That's the fun of it. The fun is getting it cheap. Beavis and Butthead, $625, 9.6 A+. The Miss Pac-Man went for $250. NBA Showdown, 94, 9.8 A. Highest graded copy they've offered here at Heritage Auctions. Yeah, renovation games are great, 100%. They are just known of like renovation plus Sega Genesis, quality, collector, all those things. Why is Filios so freaking cheap? After watching El Viento, man, like I wish I had a proxy bid in on Filios. But $175 to NBA Showdown 94, the 9.8A. Filios slowly here, pushing its way to $250. Only one of 5 copies on the pop report. This is a 9.4A+. Jeez. Only the 3rd time it's ever been at Heritage, and it hasn't been at auction in over almost 2.5 years. The last copy being November 2022, where a 9.8A+ sold for over $3,000. Oof. Why are you bidding on anything? Aren't you saving for the $20,000 Mario mission? Oh my god. Yeah, no doubt. Hey, by the time Mission Mario finishes, Mission Mario finishes, will be the 30,000 Mario. Frick. Yeah, Filios is super fun. It's one of those games where I sat down to make sure it works. Like I was testing Sega Genesis games. I ended up playing Filios for like an hour or two. It was just super addictive. It was super fun. Early Genesis, simple, all that stuff. It's a shmup, right? Maybe it also has levels where you like walk around. I can't even remember now. But yeah, it was good. Good game. Good game. Is Melee on Switch 2 going to have online play? Interestingly, Mike, I don't think they're ever going to release Melee. I don't think Smash Melee will ever come to Switch Online, ever. Because it directly competes with their flagship. It's the same reason, in my opinion, why Double Dash will probably never come to Switch Online. Because again, it competes directly with their flagship game. I don't think we'll ever see those. I would love to be wrong on that. I would love to be wrong. But I think if they were going to do it right, like if you were going to do it, why not have Smash Melee be your launch title? While we don't have, like, right, the newest Smash game isn't out, it makes perfect sense to make Melee right now on Switch Online. Well, you have this little lag period between the new game and the old game. But I just, given that they didn't do it right now, I think it's a tough, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. I'd be surprised if they do it. You're also saying I shouldn't be bidding on anything. Tonight's the first Heritage Auctions where you have a game being auctioned similar to one in your collection. You get to feel either smart or dumb. What game do you have up, Jonathan? What game do you have up? I want to sweat this out with you. I need to live vicariously through you. What game is it, Jonathan? Or you can let us know when it ends if you want. Philios did slowly but surely actually get its way up to $812, which feels fine. Feels very fine there. $812. I don't know how you feel, Hamster. I think that's fine. Almost $1,000 for the 9.48+. Rocket Knight Adventures 9.68+ at $575. Roger Clemens Baseball 9.8A+.
Fair warning. Next lot. $140. $220.
I need to see if I need to see if I won El Viento or not. Maybe I'm whining and crying and like I actually did win. I don't think I did, but just take a peek here.
$320.
Rolling Thunder 2, 9.68+ here. My bids.
$360. $380. $400. $420.
Sega Showcase. You guys.
Fair warning.
You guys. Look at this.
$40.
Look at this. I want it. I want El Viento. Like, fuck you guys. Fuck you guys. Blah. Fuck you. Like, let's go. Oh my God. I thought, I didn't think I bid. I had bid $375 on it. Let's go. That's big, man. That's big. I'm sitting here just belly aching. I frickin' won the thing. Oh my God. Yeah, I'm an idiot, Joe. I'm sitting here belly aching.
$420.
Woohoo!
$440.
Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy. Good stuff. Good stuff. We take those. We take those. Offer to buy it from myself with some money laundering rate on the site. Yeah. I need to pop onto my other, exactly, right? Now from this account, I need to go and make an offer on the other account, and then I need to offer $1,000 on it, then tell everyone, oh my God, look at this offer that came in, then post it to Facebook. Oh, we got something here. We got something. Rolo to the rescue, 9.8A++. 9.8A++, Rolo to the rescue. Someone asked me the other auction if this was a big thing. And I said, like, kind of, but not really. But, like, shoot, man, the 9.8A++ is still pushing. Still pushing over $900. And Shadowrun, you said, is the game you have coming up here. 85+, beautiful copy, Jonathan. I'm hoping for the best for it, man. I'm hoping for the best for it.
Fair warning.
You two used to call it Melee when I was a kid and then realized that's dumb. No. Don't do that. If you're not calling it Smash Melee, I don't want to talk to you.
Fair warning.
No, people will say it's Melee. That's big conspiracy. That's big Melee trying to brainwash you. Don't do it. Don't do it. Yeah, Rolo is pushing, man. Rolo is pushing. 9.8 A plus plus here, like over $1,000 now. Dang, dude. I am impressed. I am impressed that such a niche title, EA published Rolo to the Rescue, still made its way to almost $1,200. It's not your copy. You just have a twin. Oh, you have close to a twin, so you're hoping you didn't overpay. Gotcha. Okay, I did think it was yours, so I appreciate the clarification there. And make a phone call to Halperin. Is it your copy of Rolo to the Rescue? Or the Shadowrun is yours. Of course it is. Okay, we still get to see the person in here. Saturday Night Slam Masters, the 9.8A going for $781.
$340.
What just happened? Why did I just refresh my screen there? What the heck? I wanted to see Slam Masters too. Shadowrun, the 85 plus here, pushing its way to almost $450. You guys are going to be so angry when you see El Viento posted to eBay.
Fair warning.
You guys are going to think I'm a scumbag. Yeah, Big Mealy's just crapping on the little guy. Exactly, man. Don't give in to it. Don't let the man tell you what to do, you know? You guys are going to think I'm a scumbag when El Viento hits eBay. Like, oh no. I swear, it's for the good of the hobby, you know?
$130. $140.
Shadowrun, $500 on the nose for the 85 plus. Let's check out Shadowrun comps, just because we had people talking about it. $500 on the nose, they're not going to tell me other comps. Of course they're not. These are all really old sales. A 7.0 in 2024 went for $550? Someone paid? What? A 7.0 went for $550 last year. How the hell did this 85 plus only get $500? That actually feels crazy to me. You paid $2,000 for it in 2021? Based on the other sale there, man, that seems odd. 500 feels low, no? Am I crazy? Is Shadowrun just not that desirable? Did something happen to the value of this game? Saturday Night Slam Masters, $781.25. I did also want to check the Slam Masters. The last 9.8A, yeah, okay, this is why I wanted to check. Because in my head, I had it that this was always over $1,000. The last 9.8A, November 2024, was $1,500. Tonight, $781. A cut in half for Saturday Night Slam Masters is, that's considerable. That's considerable. You paid $720 for a 9.6A plus Shadowrun. Even based on this sale here at $500, I don't think you did bad, Jonathan. I think this sale here is just kind of light.
Next lot.
Shaq Fu, 9.9A plus plus, $250. We just had one sell at the weekly, didn't we? Literally 2 days ago? Yeah, the last 9.9A plus plus was a week ago for $225. So Shaq Fu, the 9.9A plus plus, $250. That's just kind of where they settled. Sonic 3D Blast, early print copy for $525. Here is a mint Majesco copy now. Everyone's favorite debate. Would you rather have an early print, 9.6A plus, or Majesco print, 9.8A plus plus, and, are these the same? Kid A rating? No, it can't be, right? Or is it just updated verbiage? Is it updated verbiage or are they different copies? Am I crazy? Because it's old label versus new label here on WATA. No country early production. They're calling it early production. Okay. Yeah, so the early print 9.6A plus, $525. The 9.8A plus plus Majesco is pushing up to $800. So paying the mint premium here for a later production copy. Majesco, no less. Outselling the first print by, well, it's still going here. It's a made in Japan versus made in Mexico. Gotcha. Or assembled in Mexico. You got to regrade it and get the 9.4 and then post for 1,000. No one wants the 80 plus. Oh, I agree with you, B Rose. I think I absolutely am going to send that El Viento to WATA Games. I mean, you're talking about a 9.4, man. Let's just get a 9.8A on it, right?
Fair warning.
Let's just turn that bitch into a 9.8A. Why are we stopping at 9.4? You know what I mean? That's a 9.8A if I've ever seen one right here. What a beautiful copy. God damn. God damn. It's a nice copy of El Viento right there.
$800.
Sonic 3D Blast, $937.50 for the 9.88++. Yeah, almost twice the price of the early print copy. I'm surprised. I'm surprised, but I think more and more, it seems that we are seeing conditional premiums beat out early print copies. I don't know what it means, but I think it's something that's like kind of just becoming a thing. Sonic the Hedgehog, 85 plus, not for resale, qualified copy. This would have come from a system pack-in, right? Yeah, pack-in with the Genesis. So getting a not for resale copy should be impossible to get in non-qualified state. Oh, I guess if you had a brand new Genesis, the game inside would technically be brand new as well. But that should be what this qualified one is, right? That first print copy was also top of the pop on the Wada Pop report. Oh my god, man. More and more I'm thinking this was just cheap.
$1,900.
You're hearing a lot about El Vidento in your ear?
$2,200.
Yeah, you guys are all going to be frickin'... Oh, you bought it, GT100. There we go. Yeah, top pop early production copy for $525. Like, if the Majesco is going to sell for almost $1,000, I don't know, dude. I personally still would take the first print all day, every day, but what do you do? What do you do? I'm with you, GT100. I think it's a good purchase. Sonic the Hedgehog 85 plus qualified is pushing its way to almost $4,000 now. Obviously, Sonic is expensive AF, so
Fair warning.
any copy of Sonic is going to pump, qualified or otherwise. Do U.S. tariffs make made in Japan even more expensive? Yeah, now it does. Now it does, you bet. You were going to bid on the first print, but you were late to it? Damn. You should have bought back the Shadowrun. You weren't paying attention. What's up with you guys? Why is everyone saying they would have, should have, could have here? Why is everyone saying you would have, should have, could have on these games here? You put in those frickin' proxy bids, right? Put in those proxy bids before the auction starts, you guys. That's how I walked away with El Viento tonight. Because I'm frickin' 5-head big investor and I put in proxy bids before the auction. Come on. Come on, fam. You won the Sonic. You won the Sonic the Hedgehog. That's one you grew up with. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty damn cool, right? Like 85 plus qualified. It is cool. The not for resale. I'm pretty positive it's the copy I grew up with too. The NFR. I think. Maybe we had Sonic 2 NFR. I can't even remember now, but it's cool. I personally would never even consider $3,500. I don't know how well it's going to... I can't even give analysis. You know what I mean? That's a tough one, man. But I'm happy you love it. I'm happy that you bought it because you love it, because it means something. That's cool. Very cool. Sonic the Hedgehog 3 Mega Value Mega Hits, $687.50 for the 9.88++. Space Harrier 2, 9.88. And if you want to get in to another showcase, signature auction, even the Tuesday weekly auction, of course, tonight is sponsored by Heritage Auction, so... The next Ages of Sega will be coming up September 11th. If you like what you see, if you have some very rare, expensive Sega Genesis games and you want to get them into the next Sega Showcase, it's coming up in September. You have until July 29th to do so. That's my birthday. My birthday is the cutoff for the next Ages of Sega. The signature's closed. The May signature, that is done. So now we are looking towards the August signature auction. If you want to get into the August signature, you have until July 2nd. Then, of course, a whole bunch of other showcase auctions coming up throughout the year, as well as the Tuesday auctions every single week, right here on YouTube, right here on Heritage. Huge thanks to them sponsoring, and huge thanks to you guys being here tonight. Video games at ha.com. Sorry, there's a link in the description as well. Video game at ha.com. Video games at ha.com. How was the Sonic NFR distributed? Yeah, console pack-in, Mike. Console pack-in on the Sonic NFR. Space Harrier 2 went for $400. Space Invaders 91 I was going to mention as well. This is extremely uncommon game here. Super, super. Yeah, second time only ever offered at Heritage. Highest graded copy offered. It just doesn't come up. Even CIB, this is pretty uncommon. Published by Taito. Don't shoot me. Where's that guy who was... Don't get me on pronunciation here. Taito for $450. It's rare. If you're a Genesis collector, you're probably aware of Space Invaders 91. Maximum Carnage, 9.6 A plus. A CIB copy of El Viento. Geez, now I can't even say it. You scared me. El Viento sold for $388, March 25th on eBay. There you go. There you go, right? There you go. That's crazy. That's crazy. I freaking knew that copy. I got nothing to say. I want it, right? I'm for once, I'm actually putting my money where my mouth is on El Viento. Usually I just sit here and say, oh my God, that's cheap. But I never bid. But I actually fucking bid on it. My El Viento is going to El eBay.
$160.
Yes, El Viento going to El eBay. So I can get the El Mario. Beautifully put, Mike. Beautifully put.
Fair warning.
Trump is going to kill the Chrono Trigger bidding. Yeah, not to get super political, but I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen how the stock market is doing, how cryptocurrency is doing, how the overall economy sentiment, it's not good. Nothing is good. You know? It's not good right now. And I absolutely do think we probably are going to see spillover into the bidding action. We might be seeing a bit already on some of these results tonight. I know I've pointed out a few of them have been flat. Sega Classic Streets of Rage, VGA 95. Oof. Star Trek Deep 9 went for 237. Maximum Carnage, the 9.6A plus. Oh, it's not the red cartridge, it's Majesco. Boo, $375. I was going to say Maximum Carnage seemed cheap, but Sega Classic Streets of Rage, 95, pushing. Pushing here. Getting a real copy of Streets of Rage, as you guys know, is like thousands and thousands of dollars, so you get yourself a classic copy and you feel good about it. It's helping your business. Your prices are now competitive with China. You do store displays. That's awesome to hear. Like, genuinely, that's good to hear. Because, you know, most of what you hear is doom and gloom and everything. So it's cool to hear that there are people out there benefiting from everything that's taking place. This Strider here is falling out. It's like its pants are pulled down. 9.6A plus here. I'm pretty sure you can just bang this to like get it oriented properly, so there's no need for the game to be falling out of the case, but 9.6A plus, $600. Always looks silly when you see it. Super Hang On, 9.6A plus. Is this a launch title? Might just be super early. Very hard to find sealed. It is a Sega Genesis Grail. It has been for a long time. Pushing its way to $1,000 here. The last 9.8A plus, oh my gosh. The last 9.8A plus was October 2022 for $6,000. It hasn't been on, like, that was a WATA copy, so this is now a CGC. So the last WATA copy and the only other time it was on Heritage, 9.8A plus for $6,000. Right now, pushing our way past $1,500. Woof!
Fair warning.
Fire sale time. I'm still sitting mostly in cash, Joe, myself. I sold off my stocks in crypto, I don't know, 6 to 8 weeks ago now. Probably sometime in February. I'm still just sitting in cash.
Fair warning.
I don't know, man. I don't see a reason to start deploying capital yet. Speaking specifically about like stocks, S&P 500, crypto, whatever you want to say. I know stuff's on sale, and like I probably am going to start purchasing. I know my girlfriend put it in. My girlfriend invested a bit more 2 weeks ago. Whenever we had that huge dip a couple weeks ago, but I don't know, man. It just feels like things are going to get worse than better. Super Hang On closed at $1,625. Invest in CoinOp laundromats. Yes. You sold your stocks early February, was mostly Mag 7. Since then, you've gotten hammered since. You're like 18% back in. Why did I sell in February? That was peak market awesome. I think it was late February. So I didn't get like the highest prices because, well, here, I'll track it against Meta. The day I sold my Meta stock is when I got rid of most things. It was 673. So I sold like here. February 26th. I was late February. So I missed these peaks right here. This is Feb 14. This is early February over here. I sold over here. I wish I could zoom in more, but I'm on the right side of this big-ass mountain. I'm over here on this little blip right here, 673. Which is, it's not bad. Not bad. Obviously now, it's fucking collapsed, but yeah, it was a bit scary selling when we were already down. It was already down $100 from peak, but I just took a shot on it, One of those plays. Sword of Vermilion, 9.28, $550. Into T2, the arcade game, 9.88++. You sold because it was all very predictable? Took them at their word? Yeah, yeah. When did you buy and how much did you net? I bought Meta, Odin, at the worst possible time in like the past 5 years. I bought it right before the 2021 downturn. I bought like right here. You guys can see, yeah, over here. I think I paid like $330, $340. I bought it like the day they swapped to Meta. When it was Facebook and they went to Meta. So I only like 2x'd on it. I might not have even 2x'd. Because I bought it such a shit time. But holding it, I paid off. I just had to hold. Holdle gang, paid off. But yeah, I bought at an awful time by all metrics. It just happened to go up. Taz, Escape from Mars, 9.98++, $425. You bought Meta in 2022 when it went to like $100. You sold at 120. Yeah. I was down so much in it, Game Room, that I just like forgot I owned it. You know what I mean? I just like closed stocks and stopped looking at it, which was to my benefit. T2, the arcade game, the 9.88++ went for $875 into Techno Cop, 9.28+. You didn't lose, you paid the price for an expensive lesson. I mean, hey, I still came out on top, Skate Soup. I bought it like $330 and sold it $670. Like I probably did 2x on it, but it took 3 years to do that. So, could have been a 6x. You just is what it is. Greg moved to the USA. Probably never, Oscar. Probably never. At least not in the next 4 years. Yeah, 2x in 3 years is very good. It's just like, woulda, coulda, shoulda. I'm just thankful I sold some shit. I'm thankful we had people in the Discord talking about economy, talking about investments. If you're not in the Discord, join the Discord. Because honestly, a lot of you guys talking about economy and investing and all this stuff, it helps me, or at least it keeps me engaged. Probably more than I otherwise would be. Yeah, I'll be the 51st state soon enough. Exactly. I don't need to move to the US. I'm going to get amalgamated. Assimilated. Whatever word you want to use for it. I'll be locked into US soon enough. Don't worry, boys.
Fair warning.
You're kicking yourself. You wanted to buy VIX right before the tariff announcements, but you didn't? Dude, I know the feels. I know the feels, man. That coulda, shoulda, would you will frickin' kill you. Tecmo Super Bowl, the 9.68++ for $400 into Tiny Toon Adventures Acme All-Stars 9.8A+. By far the nicest copy they've ever sold here at Heritage out of just 2. I was going to say I don't think it has a ton of value, but it's cool that it's like Tiny Toons and Konami published. So it's collectible. Pushing its way to $700 here. Look at the bright spot. If you become the 51st state, you'll also be so powerful in Congress that you can succeed easily. Or secede. I know which word you mean. Succeed easily. Yeah, great cover on this. A lot of the Konami ones are. No, stop. Today you overheard someone in passing say, up in Canada, everyone knows wears jerseys even when they ski. Is this true? Yeah, secede. Is that what I'm trying to say here? Secede? Maybe you guys are right about my pronunciation. Maybe I'm the problem. Maybe it is Melee after all. 9.88+, almost $700 on Tiny Toons into Sega Classic version of Tommy Lasorda Baseball. Didn't the actual real print of Tommy Lasorda sell for a lot? If I'm not mistaken. It's like a launch title, I believe. I think the original one actually did really good at auction. This Sega Classics version. Oh yeah, there we go. 9.88+ for $3,000. That was back in February last year. Yeah. So yes, Tommy Lasorda, an actual factory sealed copy. A lot of value on it.
Next lot. $220.
You're in Canada the past 5 days. Let's go, dude. What the hell were you doing up in Canada, hamster? Do people always wear jerseys even when they ski? Maybe it's a Toronto thing. You might see jerseys more often. Jerseys aren't that common to see where I live. Not at all, actually. Like, it might be like a Toronto or Vancouver thing where you see jerseys a lot, but you don't see them here in Saskatchewan. It's just not a thing. It's not the style. It's not the culture here. True Lies, 9.8 A++. Some Arnold Schwarzenegger action. In your opinion, Tommy Lasorda is the best launch title game? Yeah, whoever you ship to has to pay the tariffs. So do they affect U.S. collectors? They will if you import from Canada or import from Japan. Yeah, they'll affect U.S. collectors now, for sure. For sure it will. Which kind of shafts me selling anything from... What, did Tommy Lasorda do Slim Fast back then, Oscar? Is that a thing? I'm already kind of screwed importing from the U.S. because I think it's 25%. So, like, I literally just can't buy stuff from the U.S. right now. Right? Nothing I can do.
Fair warning.
Everything I purchase has to stay within the U.S. ecosystem. It has to be bought from the U.S. It has to stay in the U.S. It's a tough spot right now, man. Then hopefully once all this blows over, can we even say that anymore? Like, hopefully whenever this ends, I can start importing stuff again. Well, if I import anything, Odin, I'm paying 25% on declared value, so... You know, if I import a game, even that El Viento, man, 350 US, right? I'm going to pay an extra 25% on it in tariffs. So there's tariffs, there's customs, there's a clearance fee, and there's taxes. By the time, if I were to bring this at $350 up to Canada, I think I would pay 50% more on it. It's insane, man. Yeah, it's not blowing over, buddy. Yeah, I don't think it is either, man. I don't think it is either. Feels like wishful thinking now. Vector Man 2, $250. Yes, Tommy Lasorda did do Slim Fast. What a legend. It's too old. Like, this is before my time, so I don't even know who Tommy Lasorda is. You know what I mean? True Lies 425, Vector Man 2 250, World Championship Soccer 9.9 A++. No, I mean importing, big box. Not shipping out.
Fair warning.
I do mean importing. Welcome to the EU. Yeah, it's gross. You guys have had it bad, dude. The EU has it bad. If you pay more on your heritage wins, I think so. Why is World Championship Soccer a $550 game? It's purely, I think, it's purely just a condition premium on this one, Bird Dog. 9.9 A++, goddamn near perfect copy of the game. I think in any... You aren't talking to me. Well, okay then, big box. I think any other condition on this game, factory sealed, it wouldn't... Like, we wouldn't be seeing 525 on it. Yeah, I don't even know who Tommy Lasorda is. It's time for you to get a walker and start yelling at the clouds. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's the reality, man. Even sports people, pop culture and shit, it kind of ages out. Zombies Ate My Neighbors, $625. Do you think soccer would still do good outside of this grade, hamster? I'm skeptical myself. Zombies Ate My Neighbors is very cool. Another game that was brought forward by... Was this one LRG who brought it forward, actually? 9.6 A+ for $625. Axe Battler, a Legend of Golden Axe. One of the actual expensive, even as a cartridge, this game has some value on Game Gear. VGA80 on this, pushing its way to almost $250 here. Last sale of a VGA80 was $360 back in 2023. Is this game worth more now, today, than it was 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago to the date?
Fair warning.
Yeah, the 9.9 and the 10s just get premiums. You see it in comics as well, exactly. Agreed with you 100% there. To be fair, Tommy Lasorda was old even when the Genesis launched. I mean, yeah, I was going to say that if you look at his picture here, like, I don't know if they just made this fake, but he's full white hair, man. He looks like he's 50 years old on here. I don't think he's playing baseball on this game, so maybe it's okay I don't know him. maybe it's excusable. Golden Axe went for $262.50, so not as much as it was, or right close, very close. I can't remember now if it was $350 or $250 I said 2 years ago, but $262.50 on Golden Axe. Columns, 9.6 A+. Sorry. Later production copy. But still, I don't think we see... Yeah, this is the first time Columns has been offered at Heritage. I was going to say, we don't see it offered a lot factory sealed, so pushing its way to $350 here. It was LRG who did Zombies Ate My Neighbors. Okay, that's what I thought. For the first time ever. Like 2 weeks ago? I shipped, god damn it, I started reading your comment, Oscar. I watched gameplay of Zombies Ate My Neighbors. I had never seen gameplay of that game before. For the first time ever. A couple weeks ago, I watched someone play it for like 15 minutes. Looked kind of cool. I had no idea it was like arcade-based. Like, you know, like level by level type thing. I didn't know what it was. Looks cool. Looks fun. I can see why it has a bit of a cult following. But yeah, I had never seen gameplay for it before. Columns went for $325. Here's Tailspin again. VGA 85. Didn't we just have this? Oh no, first time offering the game? No. This was at a weekly. Am I tripping? We just had this at the weekly. I think it went for like $1,000. I can't remember what grade it was now, but here's the VGA 85 pushing its way to almost 600, 575.
$480.
Looks like he ate too much pasta. Legend in the Boomer Hearts. Zombies is an amazing game. One of the best two-player games. I didn't even know it was two-player. Very, very cool.
Next lot. $35.
Disney's Tailspin, yeah, $575. I'm positive that this sold for $1,000 like the other day.
$40. $45.
Yeah, $1,000. It just sold for that a week ago. 9.48 plus covered in stickers for $1,000. Or tonight, you could have got the 85, but the 85 looks frickin' clean for $575. So there you go, man. Game Gear is fickle like that. Once one person is removed from the market, you never know how it's going to affect things. Dynamite Heady, 9.08 plus copy here, pushing its way to $100. Wonder what the most popular games are in Saskatchewan? Just like normal shit. In BC, you guys play NHL 94? Yeah, no one plays NHL 94 here. It's like Fortnite, Call of Duty, the most recent NHL, and the most recent 2K. I'd say those are your most popular games. If you're going to talk to someone about gaming, Call of Duty, Fortnite, NHL, 2K. It's not interesting, it's not exciting, but
$600.
That's what most people play. Dynamite Heady went for only $99. I mean, getting a graded factory sealed copy of this for under $100 is just good. The 85 Tailspin has some corner crushing. Oh yeah, I don't discount there's going to be some shit wrong with it, but compared to that 9.4 A plus with like 4 different stickers on it, I think I would just rather have the 85. Donald Duck, Lucky Dime Caper and 85 plus, only 4 copies total, and they all have the same grade. What? Each with this? There are only 4 copies of this title on the February census, each with the same grade. It's tied with one other for top example they've offered. Out of just 3. Holy fuck! This is like a riddle of the frickin'... Oh my gosh. There are 4 copies of this title on the VGA census, each with the same grade. It's tied with one other for the top example we've offered out of just 3 graded copies. It's like one of those word puzzles where it's like, how many graded copies are there? And it's, I don't fucking know. Like, I don't know. I read that and I don't know. 4 copies of this title on the VGA Pop Report, each with the same grade. It's tied with one other for the top example we've offered out of just 3 graded copies.
$1,300.
Does that mean there are 4 copies that are all the same grade, so they're all 85 plus? That has to be what it means, right? The last 85 plus sold for $1,700. I don't know. This copy here, 85 plus, is still pushing its way to $1,700. It's just weird wording, man. Like I said, it's like one of those math problems that you're supposed to find out how many cookies did the snake eat, and like, I don't know, man. I can't keep up.
Fair warning.
Glad you got a mint copy of Lucky Dime for $100. I'm surprised that this game once again pushed its way all the way up to 1,700, 1,800. Like, I think the last sale there we were showing was 17 or, yeah, right around 1,700. Pushed its way to 1,800 this time. Still pushing hard here. 85 plus Lucky Dime Caper. Yeah, it has to be a case pack. I agree. It's the only way you're going to get 85 pluses on this, but like, woof, damn, dude. That's impressive. Impressive. Power Rangers, 9.88 plus here. This is a beautiful copy. Highest graded out of just 3 copies I've ever sold here at Heritage. Yeah, getting this in 9.8 is impressive.
$300.
This box is made out of like absolutely junk paper. It's like a white cardstock. It just getting it in 9.8 very difficult. Pushing its way here up to over 300. I think my camera's spazzing out. Hey,
$40.
I think it's freaking out a lot. I see it in like my peripheral. Can we still say spazzing? Is that I don't know if that one's disallowed now.
Fair warning.
I don't use that word often, so it's like, oh my gosh. You feel like the Red Ranger should be looking forward on this cover? I disagree.
Fair warning.
I disagree. I like that he's looking to the side. It's like every 90s band photo, you know? It looks good. I like the staring off on the camera. Yeah, canceled. It's over. Knee High Park, welcome in, dude. There's still 40 games to go. But like I said, bigger auction tonight on the Sega Showcase. We are in Game Gear now. Sega Genesis is done.
$150, $160.
Not if you have at least a British audience. I think it's frowned upon more there than in the States, but it's still... Is it really? Is Spaz spicy now? That's crazy.
$220.
That's crazy. Good to know. Interesting to know.
$260.
Spastic is frowned upon in British culture. Yeah, this is... I'm learning things here. Spaz is fine. See, this is... See, I introduced it as a joke. Right? I introduced it as a joke. I just need to get some... I need to swap accounts here. Give me 1 second. I realized I was in the other one. Someone had said also ship to PWCC or the Fanatics Vault. I actually do that a lot with trading cards. I use the PWCC Vault for like all of my eBay trading card purchases. I do use the Vault a lot. It helps a lot. For can I get it back into the auction, please?
$460.
There we go. Yeah, Shining Force, the Sword of Haija. 80 plus copy here, expensive even as a cartridge, expensive as a CIB. It's always been rare. It's always been sought after. Part of the Shining Force franchise. It's a Game Gear grail. It always has been. Pushing its way to almost $500 here. Pushed its way to $550. Like years and years and years ago, this CIB was worth, multiple hundreds of dollars. It's always been valuable.
$140.
You definitely can't say removed by YouTube anymore. Yeah.
$60.
Spaz, hey, sounds a little defamatory to me. Yeah, I gotta watch who I say that to. That'll be a lawsuit incoming. A great SNL sketch sometimes is to look up Spaz, Geek, or Dweeb. Yeah, I say it as a joke, but every now and then, Hamster, there are these words that these words from my childhood. You know what I mean? Where it's like, God, dude, I don't know.
$500.
I don't know, man. Gotta be careful out there. You gotta be careful, Hamster. You never know when the ops are watching. Yeah, why was Sonic sitting at $65? I have no idea. Slowly but surely pushed its way to $600, which is still cheap for the grade.
$600.
The last 9.0 B plus looks like it went for almost 1,000. So 8.5 A plus. I mean, maybe it pushes 1,000. Sonic on Game Gear kind of had its heyday and cooled off significantly since, it seems like. Operation Wojak, welcome in, dude. Appreciate you being here. Yeah, Sonic on Game Gear was sought to be more rare, I'd say 3 years ago than it actually is. Because back when the Genesis copy was exploding, it was like, oh my god, the Game Gear copy is also rare as heck. Oh my god, it's insane. But like, we see the Game Gear copy come up enough to where I wouldn't say it's insanely rare, and obviously the
Next
Game
lot.
Gear demand for Sonic is always going to be lower.
$130.
Yeah, I would say people thought it was more rare than it was. Myself included. I thought Sonic Game Gear was like rare. But it comes up enough now where I'm like, it's out there. $906 for Sonic the Hedgehog on Game Gear. Spider-Man Sinister 6, 9.2B plus here, pushing over $200. The last 9.2B plus, probably the exact same copy, sold for $480 back in 2023.
Fair warning.
The Sonic for Game Gear with the K to A rating is actually pretty rare. That counts as a late print though, right, Blue Smoke? Like this one here with no rating on it, this is the standard sought-after early print copy, right? Yeah, Sonic was kind of just boom and bust. So it's still valuable, it just isn't,
Next lot.
perhaps as valuable or as rare as many people were thinking. Streets of Rage, VGA 80 plus. Only 8 copies on the Pop Report. The last 80 plus sold 2 years ago for $630. Streets of Rage right now pushing its way to $400. Yeah, I believe this is a first print as well. I think there's a K to A rating on Streets of Rage as well, I think.
$340.
If I'm not mistaken. But slowly but surely here, there is no K to A. What differentiates these?
Fair warning.
What differentiates Streets of Rage?
$360.
Oh, there is a K to A Streets of Rage. Oh, I see what you're saying, Hamster. I got the conversation. I'm here. The first print has no K to A. Yes, that's what happens. Yeah, that's... I was going to say, that's what happens when you break your messages into pieces. I have to, I got to piece it all back together here. We got to put together the riddle of the Sphinx.
Fair warning.
Yeah, Streets of Calm as we get our way to $500 there, hey? So yeah, selling for less than it did back in 2023, $475. You're such a spaz. Like, whoa, buddy. Like, don't you call me a spaz. I'll time you out for that, okay? Time you out for that. You'd call someone a spaz and then they'd freak out and yell, I'm not a spaz, which clearly just makes them a spaz. Good times, man. Good times. Streets of Rage 2, the 9.4A plus for $387.50 there. Yeah, $475 and $387.50. You can get yourself the pair of Streets of Rage on Game Gear for sub $1,000. You didn't win it, Hiko. You feel you can do better. Oh my gosh, man. I actually thought you'd just grab it as a placeholder. You know what I mean? I'm personally big on getting placeholder copies, but geez. What an interesting time to be British. Your ears are cursed tonight. Oh, that's funny. Yeah. Yeah, I probably will just stop saying it if it is actually offensive in Britain land, but interesting. Interesting to see.
$260.
Interesting to hear. No offense meant. Vampire, Master of Darkness, 9.2A plus. Lizzo got in trouble for saying it at a concert. Really? You were literally on the fence. You were on the same page. Yeah, it just feels like one of those things where, get yourself a placeholder and then we will then deal with the upgrade later. But I get it, man. I get it. Not gonna lie, you're in hysterics. Yeah. Membership canceled, unsubbed, refund donos. Credit card canceled. Credit card dispute filed. We almost got Greg canceled. We need to slow our roll and stop. Yeah, yeah. Stop freaking out.
Fair warning.
I don't see why you guys are freaking out about certain words.
Next lot.
Jeez, I tell you. Master of Darkness, Vampire, $425. Actually, a really good selection of Game Gear games. I know there aren't many Game Gear collectors in the world, period. But we had, 10 of them, 15 of them here tonight. Axe Battler, Columns, Lucky Dime Caper, Tailspin, Shining Force, Sonic, Streets of Rage. These are big-ass Game Gear games, man. These are very solid selection here tonight. So if you are someone who cares about it, that's good stuff. That's good stuff for Game Gear collectors. You were the underbidder on the Rage 1, Trevor. Oof. It is hard. And you won the Streets of Rage 2. There we go. Yeah, very cool. It's if you collect Game Gear, this is good stuff.
$40.
The thing is, it's niche, so getting factory sealed copies or new factory sealed copies being listed to eBay or ever being listed for auction is you're going to go months in between, right? So if you can get one at auction for a price that seems fair, it's like, okay, you should probably just go for it. If you care about owning this stuff, I have no idea if Game Gear's investable. I would just say no, right? But coming up at the signature auction is frickin' Mega Man on Game Gear, VGA 85, which that'll be the first time at Heritage. That's going to do, I think that's going to do some frickin' numbers. That is basically the Game Gear grail, and kind of always has been.
Fair warning.
What's better than Mega Man on Game Gear?
Next lot.
You kind of have to go into those super rare games, right? Like Rise of the Robots. No one's going to pay more for Rise of the Robots than Mega Man, right? How could you? Yeah, that one wasn't going to hang under the radar, Hiko. That one wasn't going to hang under the radar. WWF Raw, the 9.68 Plus for $325, and the X-Men with the free 5 cards inside for $425 on the 9.48 Plus Plus. Like some of those super rare niche titles, Urban Strike is super freaking rare, but... Oh yeah, there we go. So Blue Smoke. I'm glad you agree with me. My Game Gear knowledge is all still up here, man. Rise of the Robots and frickin' Urban Strike. Oh, CJ Elephant. Pete Sampras Tennis. You know, it's just... Yeah, Tails Adventure might fight with Mega Man, but I don't think so. But Tails Adventure also gets up there, absolutely. Those ones, though, are... Like, Tails Adventure is more available, but it obviously just has more demand, being Tails. Games like Rise of the Robot, Urban Strike, CJ, like, those are purely Game Gear collector titles. That's why Shining Force here has been, like, very expensive for a long time, too, because it has that crossover appeal of being Shining Force. It's a known franchise, big game, all that stuff, so. Yeah, Captain America's also up there. I have that awful copy still, Hiko, that 6.0 copy. I just need to sell it, I think. I don't need to own it. What games brought in the most money this evening? Was it Captain America on Sega Genesis for 2000? Is that the number one game? Captain America and the Avengers?
$180.
What sold more than that? 2,000 some dollars on Captain America. I don't know if there was anything higher. Sonic, sorry, the VGA 85 Plus Sonic, right. Right. The qualified Sonic for $3,500, if I'm not mistaken. Where the hell is it now? Can't find it. Super Hang-On went for $1,625. It should be right here. Why? Oh, they're over here. Jeez. Sonic the Hedgehog, yeah, 85 plus qualified, not for resale. System pack-in copy for $3,500. So yeah.
Fair warning.
Sonic the Hedgehog, of course. Because of course, right?
Next lot.
This is Amazing Spider-Man and the Kingpin. It's a game I want to get eventually because I love the cover art. I think the art on this is just quintessential 90s Spider-Man. So I do want to get a copy of this eventually, but $250 for the 9.4A, just more money than I want to spend right now for my own collection. Like you guys always say, got to be focusing on the Mario, right? Heart of the Alien, Out of This World, parts 1 and 2. I don't know what this is. 9.6A plus. You're the sucker of the auction. Yeah, whoever pays the highest price is the biggest sucker. The greatest fool, as they say. As Sean would say. It's funny that Game Gear doesn't get more love given it sold 10 million consoles. Yeah, it's weird. It's just kind of weird like that, Blue Smoke. Game Gear collectors, man, are far and few in between. The vast majority of, like, I mean, maybe Game Boy is the same way, but the vast majority of cartridges are just like $10 and under.
Fair warning.
It just, I don't know, there's just not a lot of love out there for it. Make sure I break out that Captain America on Game Gear before you eBay it. Yeah, you are absolutely correct. I think I will actually break it out of the CGC casing, or I might offer it in the CGC casing first, and if it doesn't sell, smash it open. But I think it was like a 5.5 or a 6.5. It'll probably just sell for more outside of the graded case, let's be honest. Right? It'll just sell for more.
Fair warning.
Heart of the Alien sold for $275 for the 9.68 plus. A little bit of value on this game. Like I said, not one I know anything about. So $300 for it, it's something. It's something. Any Sega CD game pushing up to almost 300 is something. Lawnmower Man, 9.88. I didn't know this even came out on Sega CD. That's crazy. They released this game on every single console. First time on Sega CD, yeah, being sold at Heritage. Pushing its way to $200. You feel like there was hype for Game Gear when it launched, but then it just got eclipsed by better handhelds, aka the Game Boy? You're a big Game Gear fan. You're going for a full loose set. Wow. How far along are you on a loose Game Gear set? This is a Lethal Enforcer's prototype for Sega CD, pushing its way to almost $150. Coming up later, some of you guys might take interest in this. There is a Snatcher prototype Sega CD here coming up for bid. I don't know enough about prototypes to, like, you know, really break it down for you and stuff like that, but the prototype's most recent file modification date is September 2nd, placing it about a month before the final release. They're cool. They're very cool if you're into that. So a Snatcher prototype. If you're a big Snatcher fan, it's one of those unique items that really sets your collection apart, you know? You can post this kind of thing on Reddit or Instagram, and those upvotes are coming, dude. It's a good item right there. I know, yeah, Poindexter, I know I look in my 20s, but I am in my late 40s, guys and gals, yeah. The reason Game Gear sucks is because of the frame rate. They tried to do too much with it. I collected Game Gear purely from a collecting perspective. Playing on the Game Gear fucking sucks. I've tried to do it, I've tested out a bunch of games, I've tried to enjoy games that I even know I enjoy, right? Like trying to play the Sonic or Bubble Bobble or something, and it's just like, this kind of fucking sucks.
Fair warning.
You have about 75% of the set so far? That's awesome.
Next lot.
You could set your collection apart by obtaining more Snatchers? Yes. You can be the Snatch King. Imagine how great that would be, Chris. The getter of Snatch. Snatch Man. Lethal Enforcers one went for $325. I think some people do, Trevor. Like, prototypes are obviously niche, but I think the people who do care about prototypes care very deeply. Lethal Enforcers, I don't think the game is that collectible, popular to begin with, but Lunar Silver Star, 9.28 plus. The reason it's a green label, you're probably scared off. The reason it's a green label is because it has an unverified signature on it. I'm pretty positive the unverified signature has silver Sharpie. The signature on this should be from the dev of the game. Correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I think he used to sell, or you used to be able to get the signature pretty easily. So maybe you can identify it, Hamster. It doesn't say who it's by, but it says 2007. I thought that the developer signed a bunch of copies of this, and it was pretty common to get this signed at years and years ago. Obviously, this is 2007, but it doesn't say who the signature's of. It just says unverified. So it's still pushing its way to almost $2,000, almost $2,500. So I'm guessing people who are bidding almost $3,000 fucking dollars on this do know who that signature is and probably know where it came from.
Fair warning.
I'm just guessing at that point, but it seems kind of safe to say if they're going to pay $2,750, yeah, $2,750 for it, 9.28 plus. So
$170.
5 minutes ago, is Spaz offensive? Now, King of Snatch. There's levels to being offensive, you know? You don't want to offend people inadvertently when you're being offensive. That's the key to it, you know?
Fair warning.
Can you not get
Next lot.
signature verification from CGC though, Big Box? Like, if you wanted a blue label, they would count the signature as damage. But is there no world where you can get CGC verification through it? Does CGC not have a signature verification thing? Because in that case, like, obviously you just have to send it to water, right? You have to get, like, the JSA or whatever. The WADA signatures, the WADA graphs, whatever it's called.
208, 300,
But yeah, so that's why it's a green label, unverified signature. Lunar 2 Eternal Blue, 7.5B plus, still selling for $1,375. 7.5B plus, still $1,375. That is, that's real. Lunar and Lunar 2 are like basically, I guess they're top 5. Top 5 mostly collectible Sega CD games. Very cool. RDF Global Conflict 9.9A++ pushed its way to 450. Again, this is a game I know nothing about, but that is a very good grade on this. Robo-Lest 8.0A, the sequel to Musha, one of the most expensive Genesis games. So Robo-Lest always gets love as well. What's the actual value of Zelda Breath of the Wild US VGA 95 gold uncirculated first print for Nintendo Switch?
Fair warning. $190.
A first print 95 uncirculated is what? Probably 4,000 to 5,000, I think. Somewhere in there. Is it more? I can't remember where the actual sales are. I think there was a 95 plus on Facebook recently for like 8,000 or 10,000, and I'm pretty sure it sold.
Fair warning.
I think 8,000 was the asking price on the 95 plus. So it's the 95 is probably
$20.
Oh, it was 9,000? Yeah, maybe you can get more than 5,000 on the 95. Yeah, maybe the 95 would go for more than 5,000. It's kind of nuts. There's a lot of value on right now. A lot of value on those first print Zelda Breath of the Wild.
$120. $240.
Robo-LS, $250. Yeah, I'd probably start at 6,000 too, Trevor. Start at 6,000 and see what rolls in. But I mean, if you can get 5,000 private sale on it, like that's pretty good. Here's the Snatcher prototype, pushing its way very quickly past $700. Not surprised. Yeah, you were driving when I was shitting on Switch too, so you got to ask now what titles would made you excited for it. I don't even know, man. That's the issue, JC. Is you ask like, oh, what would make you buy the Switch 2? Like right out the gate. Like, I don't know. I just wanted something that looked like something I hadn't done before, or like looked super innovative, super fun, something that's gonna, I don't know. Like obviously a new Zelda or a new Mario 3D would have pushed the needle a lot more, but I would have pushed the needle more for me, like a new Smash Brothers as well, would have pushed the needle for me way more than a new Mario Kart. The Snatcher prototype, so like I was saying, it pushed its way over $2,000. People who care about prototypes care. They are collectible. They do have value, like 100%. 100%. Pushing its way now over $2,000. It is a very unique thing to own. Like, prototypes are cool. I've never got into them myself, but I can fully respect the people that do it.
$2,200.
You used to have a Game Gear? You remember Sonic was the only fun game you had? Every other game you either found too frustrating or too boring? When I sat down with Game Gear Elysium, I just found what is it called? Screen tearing? Parallax backgrounds? I think it's just screen tearing from bad frame rates. But genuinely, trying to play anything that had any kind of like quick motion, I guess like headache inducing. Right? It was just like, Jesus Christ, this is more annoying to try and keep up with what's taking place than it is to try and play it. Yeah, Lest went for under $300, $250 this time around for the 8.0A. Based on your reaction, I'm guessing this is a bit lower than other sales, hey? There are cracks in the case, front and back, so that is why it's an 8, but yeah, $250 this time. I don't know what a CIB is. I'm sure it's kind of close, hey?
Fair warning.
The Snatcher prototype.
Next lot.
Finally comes to a close at $3,500, tying Sonic the Hedgehog as the most expensive item in the auction. There we go. Where are you at? Where are you at, prototype haters? Where are you at, guys? Are prototypes expensive? Yes. Yes, prototypes are expensive. Yes. If it's a prototype for a game that people give a shit about, yes, it's very expensive. Prototypes for random ass stuff? Not so much. Time Gal 9.68 plus
Fair
plus.
warning.
Always been I don't know if it's like a cult classic on Sega CD, but it's always had some value. I don't know why. I don't know much about it. It is published by Renovation. I know we talked about with the with Sega Genesis that Renovation games are always collectible, basically. But yeah, Time Gal has always had value. 9.68 plus plus here. Highest graded copy on the Pop Report out of just 6.
$420.
Are there cases of Time Gal? I don't know. It's always had some value. You're always going to buy a Switch 2, tax write-off, but there's a huge backlog of games you'd rather play at a higher frame rate on Switch 2. There's a Switch 1 games getting free updates. Yeah, that's great. Like, that's fantastic.
Fair warning.
I mean, from my POV, right, you're going to pay $500 for the Switch 2. Like, it's not, I don't think that's a crazy cost, personally.
$50.
The Switch was frickin' 8 years ago. So if you're going to spend $500 now to upgrade from a Switch to a Switch 2, absolutely, you might as well do it, right? Like, of course you should. It's been 8 frickin' years.
$10.
But I guess I could see a little more if you were buying the Switch OLEDs and stuff, if you just upgraded a little while ago. Yeah, it's a little harder to justify it, maybe.
Fair warning.
Time Gal, $525. This is a prototype. Is this unreleased? What is this? A rare Sega Saturn demo prototype featuring Amok and Vertigo, the latter of which would later be released as Scorcher. Interesting. Amok and Vertigo, or Scorcher, features both these games. It says on it, technology demo, confidential, Amok and Vertigo from Scavenger and Scavenger 1996?
$170.
1995, maybe? Cool. Cool little prototype disc here. Pushing its way over $200.
Fair warning. $180.
Yeah, you mean the washed out Game Gear screen was hard to see with the shitty contrast? Yeah.
Fair warning.
Exactly, right?
$190.
It just wasn't good. It wasn't good.
$220.
I don't know is that what I said, Skate Soup? Did I not say what the price is? Did I just straight up say I don't know what a CIB is?
Fair warning. $200.
Robo Lest is such a rare and solid game.
$260.
It's always been, like I said, sequel to Musha, so like I believe that it's quality and it's always had value. I've played like 0 Sega CD games in my life, so I really can't comment on the gameplay on any of them. I just know that it's always been up there with, it's always had value. You're actually very happy to see Nintendo offering a cheaper region-locked Switch 2 in Japan. The yen is so devalued at the moment that it would have been very expensive if they kept price parity. Yes, like, huge W for Japan. Huge W for Japan. Like, it's just like, it's actually consumer-friendly. Since when does Nintendo do anything consumer-friendly? Big dubs for Japan. The demo disc went for $325. So like I said, this is definitely on the side of more random, you know, not super desirable. So you see a price tag of $300.
Fair warning.
Burning Rangers, 85 plus qualified, pushing its way to $525. So essentially, you're getting a beautiful CIB. I mean, I know that people will say qualified's better, blah, 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 blah. You're getting a super nice CIB here of Burning Rangers, pushing its way to $550. Yeah, the tariffs are definitely weighed in. It has to be, right? The Switch pricing is definitely considering tariffs.
Fair warning.
I think in a different economic climate, we wouldn't have seen this kind of pricing. Or hopefully we wouldn't have, but over $20,000 for a sealed Snatcher last year. That prototype wasn't bad at all. Over $20,000 for sealed Snatcher last year. Holy smokes. Was that the first time we'd ever had it up for sale, Gino? $20,000 on Snatcher? I don't even remember that sale. That sounds huge, man. Sounds huge. I know Snatcher is like the grail of Sega CD, but like, Jesus. You'd be very surprised if grading prices don't go up. I hear you, man. I hear you.
$950.
It's almost like these grading companies. You know whose prices won't go up, Hamster? You know a good American company that makes their acrylic in-house?
1,000.
Can you guys think of a good American company that makes their acrylic themselves? Oh, this is what they've been waiting for, baby. This is what VGA's been waiting for. Contra, Legacy of War, Sega Saturn 9.6 A++. Pushing to almost $2,000 here. First time selling the Sega Saturn version of Legacy of War, pushing over 2,000, looking for 2,500, looking for 3,000. This is the surprise of the auction for me. Holy shit, over $3,000. Contra Legacy of War, Sega Saturn. Interesting. Interesting to see. Very interesting.
Next lot.
Wow, $3,000. Literally the only sealed copy? Like the WATA pop report is 0, I take it? WATA and VGA pop reports are 0?
$320.
My gosh. Beautiful copy of the game. I just had no idea that this game carried this kind of demand.
$40.
0, VGA has 1. Jesus. Yeah, like we see Contra Legacy of War on PS1, where it has some value, you know what I mean? Like, it has some value on PS1, but I didn't realize that this is so sought after on Saturn. Even a nice CIB is $500. Whew! Jesus, yeah, I had no idea. I was not aware that this Contra on Saturn was like top tier. Top tier. Kind of nuts.
$70.
Kind of nuts indeed.
Always good, sir.
Holy shit, hamster. God damn, dude. God damn, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, man. That is huge. It's huge. It's huge. You don't have to, obviously, you don't have to do that. That's fucking huge. Thank you, hamster. that converts to like $100 my money at this point, right? 50 US dollars. That's $70, man. $70. That is huge. 70 Canada. Thank you, man. That's huge. Much, much, much appreciated. Hopefully the auction went good for you. I know it's been, I was going to say kind of up and down, but this auction, I would say, has been more down than up this time around. So I do hope the auction was still good for you, was decent. I know you picked up a couple things, but... You went to an ATM in Canada? What the fuck? You put cards in horizontally? What do you guys do?
$400.
Doom VGA 90 for $425. Wait, what's someone saying about a 9.9?
Fair warning.
There are 2 CGC copies and the other one is a 9.9. Holy shit. Holy shit. So there. Speaking of CGC still not having public pop reports, time capsule. Learning that there's a 9.9 out there, dare I say, you now feel relieved you didn't pay $3,000 for this copy. Would I be correct in insinuating that? That is crazy, man. That is that information blind spot, man. The CGC pop reports are the information blind spot, and it is fucked we still don't have pop reports.
$550.
You did buy it for $3,000.
$650.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! No! Like, what have you done? Heritage Auctions customer support.
$850.
That game is rare enough that 3K is still fine. There's hardly any sealed Contras for Saturn. Still not bad at 3K. It's hard for me to weigh in on it. Right? I can't really weigh in on it, but it's like... knowing that there is a 9.9, you know, the way you guys presented it to me, right? You're talking 9.6, it's a pop 0, all these things, and then it's like, oh, actually, there's a 9.9. That's crazy. It just like, oh man, the information blind spot of no CGC pop reports is fucking crazy still. It's crazy. Where are the pop reports? Why don't we have them? So when someone says there's a 9.9, if you're like, well, how do they know if the pop reports don't exist? You can scrape CGC's data. If you're a data guy, if you know how to code stuff, if you know how to write scripts, you can take data from CGC, you can kind of build yourself your own pop report. That's how people find this stuff out.
700.
There is nothing publicly available.
1,000,
You don't necessarily regret it. You've been watching for a sealed one for over 3 years and you haven't seen any on eBay. I'm glad. Like, I'm very glad. I'm glad you're not sitting there now in a, regret, but... Iron Storm 9.8 A++ for $1,100. Someone said about the Snatcher, too, I meant to read there. Someone said the Snatcher sale. I missed it. I read it, but I didn't read it. You know what I mean? I read it, but I didn't read it. I hope you guys understood what I meant with that. That's really funny. Why did I construct the sentence like that? Read meaning out loud, read meaning in my head. Where the hell was it?
Fair warning.
I can't find it about the Snatcher now.
$460.
Dang. It's gone. It's gonzo. Sealed Snatcher last fall was 15.6K. Top pop copy, WATA, and VGA.
$140.
Yeah, that's big.
$60.
That's really big.
$180.
And Hamster, anything you bought with intent to flip did really well. Okay, good stuff. Other stuff you bought in like 2021 you got hit, but yeah, that's expected. I agree. That's good to hear that the stuff you bought to flip though still did fine. Sega Ages 9.9 A++. That's crazy. Tied with one other for the highest graded on the WATA Pop report, pushing its way to $1,000. The Nights into Dreams was also 9.8 A++. Iron Storm was a 9.8 A++ as well, which for $1,100, isn't this kind of cheap? Yeah, Jesus. The last one was April 2023 for $3,000. This time selling for $1,000. Like, what? What? Crazy. I when this sold there for $1,000, I thought it was cheap, but I wasn't sure. Jesus, man. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful grades on all this Sega Saturn stuff. And Sega Ages here, I don't have a comp, but pushing its way to pushing over $1,500 here on Sega Ages. I don't know what Sega Ages is. I think it's a compilation disc, isn't it? Afterburner 2, AD86, AD87, Outrun, Space Harrier. Yeah, it's a frickin' compilation disc, right? Collection of 3 classic Sega arcade titles presented together in arcade perfect glory for the first time.
Fair warning.
I don't know why it is as valuable as it is. I've never understood. $1,875. I don't know. I don't know why it's so expensive, but it's like a low-key Sega Saturn Grail for some reason. I don't know. Sonic Jam is also a 90+. Oof. Might be like the nicest copy ever offered. Oh, there was a 90+ back in October, I guess. It sold for $1,000. Tonight, pushing its way to $875 already.
Fair warning.
See the cock adventure? God. That's like the old Nintendo age Super C joke.
$850.
Also, keep in mind that the pop reports can be inaccurate due to ghosting certs for resubs. Yes. There can also be issues with pop reports 100%. Once you see the 9.6 and you know there's a 9.9, at least you can be confident that both the 9.6 and 9.9 do still exist. Yeah, the Sega Saturn tonight felt like it did really good overall, no? Like, I know Iron Storm was $1,100, but Guardian Heroes $1,600, Doom $425, Contra $3,000, Nights into Dreams $1,500, Sega Ages almost $2,000. It feels pretty fine for most of the Sega stuff there. Virtua Fighter Remix 9.8 A+. More expensive than I thought about this either. Highest graded copy ever sold here at Heritage out of only 2. Pushing its way over $1,000 as well on Virtua Fighter Remix. Jesus, man. Yeah, Sega Saturn has so many. Like, Saturn is a console I've never collected for. I've barely ever owned any games for it. But, like, Jesus, man. I almost wish I knew more about it or had more attachment to it. Because from a collector perspective, Saturn has a lot of really interesting stuff. Dino Crisis 90+ on Dreamcast. Only one copy graded higher on the February Pop Report. Oof, beautiful copy of Dino Crisis on Dreamcast. Sega Saturn is a deep pockets console. Yes, seriously, dude. It seems like it. It seems like you have to be like low-key wealthy to be a Saturn collector. Obviously not as bad as something like Neo Geo, but like Saturn's premium, man. Saturn is a premium console. Dino Crisis, $350 for the 90 plus. Marvel vs. Capcom, 85 plus Dreamcast copy here.
Fair warning.
It has the corrected screenshot on the back, which does make it later production. If you guys are into Saturn, we're going to have some Grails later this year. Ooh. Like, do tell more, Evan. Do tell more. I don't know if I will ever personally bite on some of the, like, rare and expensive Saturn games. But they're cool. It's cool. I appreciate Saturn from afar. Great time to be a Dreamcast collector. Much wow. Like 85 plus Marvel vs. Capcom. Later production be damned. Later print be damned. I wish I would have bid on this. I wish I would have tossed in a proxy bid. Yeah, I would have paid $350. Like straight up, right? I would pay $350 for this. I want to get a copy of Marvel vs. Capcom. Love the series. Man. I didn't spend enough time with this auction. I know I got that bid on El Viento, but I didn't thoroughly go through this auction. The power of Thor. I didn't thoroughly go through the auction. I would have placed a proxy on this one. Dang. You wish you would have bid on the Dino Crisis? Beautiful copy. Yeah, I mean, we're all sitting here with the shoulda, coulda, woulda. We're all sitting here with the shoulda, coulda, woulda.
$380.
Got it. Like, proxy bid is the best thing ever. Like, if you guys don't know, even while the auction is live, you can still do a live proxy bid. So if I want to bid on the item coming up, I can type it in right now and bid, and it won't actually activate until that item comes up for auction. So if you're ever watching the auction and you're like, oh, hey, something's coming up, like, oh, the last item in the auction is this Dreamcast console, you can type in your bid right now, and you can still bid on it before it comes up, which, like, very important. It's a great thing. I didn't know you could do that until, like, 6 months ago. So keep that in mind, definitely, if you ever see something coming up, and you're like, fuck, maybe I'll forget, or whatever it is, right? Set your bid now. 100%. Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, VGA 90 for $525. Code Veronica, 9.68++. We're just about closing out the auction here. Greg, on the Sega Saturn, Sega Ages games, look at the backs of the box, the back of the box, and then look at the developer. Trust me. Oh God, is it Atlas?
$300. $320.
Is it Renovation? No part of me was ready for this. We have come full circle, folks. Like, get that off the screen. How do I, like, get that out of here? Not like this, exactly. Not like this. Oh my God, the bait. I got baited into being canceled. It's like when people have those racist usernames that they try and get you to say out loud. Like, I've been got, man. I got gotted. Not like this. Wow.
Fair warning.
Code Veronica went for $300. Isn't this a snag? Didn't we just see this not that many weeks ago? The 9.68++ for $600 tonight. $300. Man, who said it in chat there? Dreamcast collectors are eating good tonight, man. Dreamcast collectors are eating good. I can't believe So speaking of the word spaz, there was literally a game developer named Spaz, and it was printed on the back of that Sega Ages box. So, what a time to be alive, hey? That is insanity. Street Fighter 3 Double Impact, VGA 95, tied with one other copy for the nicest copy on the VGA Pop Report, pushing its way to $600. Shenmue the 95 also went for $450.
$550.
They were a publisher and they were a knockoff of Working Designs. Interesting.
$650.
Interesting. No part of me was ready for that, Simon. That was that was crazy. That was crazy,
Fair
man.
warning.
Yeah, when you see the same black cat in the Matrix, exactly.
$50.
Rip. Double Impact pushing its way to almost $1,000. The
Fair
most expensive Dreamcast game so far by a lot. Nemesis for $525 was the other high mark. Double Impact here is pushing over $1,000. Pushing its way to over $1,000.
$950.
I don't know enough about Double Impact here, Street Fighter 3, to like... This is that era of Street Fighter games where I simply wasn't there.
$1,000.
Like, I don't know what was super important out of all of the releases of Street Fighter 2, out of all the different releases of Street Fighter 3. At least I think there were different releases, right? This is like DLC before DLC existed. And it is just simply before my time. I didn't start playing Street Fighter seriously to any kind of degree until Street Fighter 4. And I think we had a plug and play for Street Fighter 2, but we might not have had that until like very late, like after Street Fighter 4 already came out. Not to say I'm like great at Street Fighter or anything, but I can absolutely sit down and play Street Fighter. Like I can play Ken. I'm a Ken main. I'm not I'm not super interesting. I like Ken. Sometimes you just got to pick high tiers, okay? There's nothing wrong with that. Double Impact is still pushing its way to almost $2,000 now, though. Like, this is just... We're getting into the highest game of the auction type territory. Like, this is a top 10 sale. It might be breaking its way into the top 5 here. Very impressive for any Dreamcast game. Let alone frickin' Street Fighter 3.
Fair warning. Next lot.
Wow.
$140.
$2,000 on the nose. So now it, if you missed out, if you just missed out on the 95, you can buy yourself a beautiful 9.6 A++ here. Maybe you can even send this back to Wada Games, right? When was this graded? What's the grade date on here? This was graded back in 2020. My unsolicited advice for you is buy this copy and send it back to Wada Games.
$280.
That's what I would do. If you missed out on the other copy. Pushing its way to $350 right here. I would genuinely say you have a 50-50 shot that this would become a 9.8. And that's just unsolicited advice right there. Don't come shoot me if it doesn't work out, but I've seen a lot of stuff, man. And the fact that this just sold for $330, like, this is, oh my God, it's like a freaking a 7X, man. 9.6 A++, $350 versus $2,000 for the VGA 95. Woo!
$750, $800.
Woof! Yeah, buy this copy and gamble on the regrade all day long. That's crazy. Dreamcast, VGA 80 plus qualified.
Fair warning.
Only one of 7 examples of this variant on the Pop Report. It is qualified, of course. Still is pushing its way to $1,000 here.
$850.
I forgot that someone was coming to grab something from my house. I hope they got it.
Fair warning.
I think someone wanted to buy something too locally here. I'm gonna have to tell them tomorrow. I fucked up.
$1,200.
Yeah, okay. Oh, phew. He just said I'm home now, but I can come tomorrow. Oh, that's clutch. That's clutch. He was thinking the same thing. I totally forgot that I had like a local sale like kind of lined up for tonight. Totally forgot about it.
$2,200.
The Dreamcast closed at $1,000, and the Sports Dreamcast, the black... What?
Fair warning.
I didn't know the sports bundle was still gray.
The auction is now closed.
I thought every sports Dreamcast was black. That's crazy. Now the sports Dreamcast there, VGA 85, sold for $2,700. That's more real. A copy of Spirits and Spells on GameCube, CIB, is going to go out the door. I think I'm getting 150 Canadian for it. Yeah, 150 CAD, Spirits and Spells, CIB. So, I have no complaints with it. I forgot I even owned it. I'm going to record it still. I need to I'll have another Mario mission update, but essentially I found it in a drawer of my TV console. And I had put it there back during the pandemic because I had tried to sell it in 2021. I think it would have been maybe 2022, but I tried to sell it. I took nice pictures and stuff, posted it up on Facebook, sent someone additional photos and shit, and they never bought it. And then I just put it in that drawer and forgot about it for the past 3 years. So, yeah. You got to show us the D2 big box. The Diablo 2 big box, Odin, is still in the United States now with my middleman. And again, speaking about the tariffs and the imports and shit, I don't know if I'm going to bring it into Canada now, anytime soon. I don't know, man. It's just shitty. It's just shitty. It sucks. I don't know. Like I said, it's a 25% hit if I want to import that. And that's on top of any potential taxes, clearance fees, anything else they hit me with. And that's if I, never mind. I was going to talk about declared values, but every single time you declare exactly what it is and you go like that, Yes, see, like Trevor, yes, of course I declare properly. Of course I do. What do you mean? Of course I do. I of course. What do you mean? What do you mean? Of course. What a silly question, Trevor. Do I declare properly? Yes, of course I do. You guys are crazy out there. What state's my guy in? Why can't I think of this answer now? Washington. Yeah, you're asking some bold questions out here, Trevor. You're asking some bold questions. You're just used to biting the bullet because you don't have, I know, right? And for me, I always try to avoid it and stuff. But yeah, Washington has a state tax, unfortunately. But it's still better than shipping everything to Canada. Time Capsule, congrats on your stuff, man. Hopefully the sales went well for you as well. Top of the auction was the Sonic Not For Resale, qualified for $3,500, as well as the Snatcher Prototype for $3,500. Right underneath, man, that Contra Legacy of War was the third most expensive game tonight. No part of me saw that coming. $3,000. Lunar, the Silver Star, $2,750. Are there comps on this? I know this has the unverified signature on it, but it's the first time selling it. There we go. I don't know why, but I didn't think this was the first time offering Lunar. Just in my head, man. I don't know. I guess I just thought we've seen it before. I guess that's why it pushed its way to almost $3,000. But even so, I kind of figured this would sell for a lot of money no matter what. But the Sega Dreamcast console was also the top 5 item there, $2,695. And that Captain America game for $2,000 was for a long time a top 5 item in the auction, $2,125, and $2,000 on Street Fighter was just outside of it at $2,000. The lowest selling game of the auction was Dynamite Heady 9.0 A plus 4 Game Gear, $99. $99. Germans, every German's favorite number, 99. It is crazy though that it didn't even break over $100. That is just cheap. No love for Heady. Yeah, we're Snatch fans. We don't need no head. That's how it is. That's what I'm gonna leave you guys with. That's gonna be the last thing you get for the auction. So I tell you, that's what you show up for, right? Those are the kind of high-witted humor you guys show up for when you come to an auction. But a huge thanks to Heritage Auctions for sponsoring. A huge thanks to you guys showing out tonight. Videogames@ha.com to reach out to a consignment expert. There's another Sega showcase coming up later in the year. So make sure if you want to get into it, reach out now. The next signature auction is planned for August. Consignments are open for that. And the weekly auctions every single week on Tuesday on YouTube right here. Jesus. I have been talking a lot. I'm running out of voice. I can feel it. I can feel my vocal cords are, I'm losing it a bit here. It's been a long time since we've had a 2-hour auction, man. I'm feeling it. It's crazy that every single weekly before, do you guys remember when every single weekly auction was 2.5 hours? I don't know how I did it, man. I don't know how I had a voice. Yeah, grab some Dominoes. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Dominoes always makes everything better. Maybe I will, Gino. God damn it, Gino, maybe I will. But have a good night, you guys. Join the Discord, free link in the description, and take care. I'm back on Tuesday. New video tomorrow, so make sure you comment, like, and everything. Have a good night, guys. Yeah, 250 games in the weekly. It was insane.